Turning Point USA threw a halftime show to compete with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show. And this one's for you, Charlie.
And they claimed 6.1 million people watched. And then enter Candace Owens, of all people, who called them out for viewbotting.
If everything is a rich man's trick, that's what's happening right now.
Which, if you're not familiar, viewbotting is when you artificially inflate your numbers because nobody actually wants to watch you sing about beer and trucks in an empty, dark room. 6 million viewers in the live chat looked like an abandoned Home Depot parking lot after an ICE kidnapping. Bad Bunny had 130 million real humans watching. Turning Point USA had Kid Rock, a bunch of bots, and a song about fish. Guess which one had to fake their numbers? And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Please take a moment to subscribe. I currently still have a lead on Katie Miller, but I just spent the last couple of days out in Milan at the Olympics and I'm falling behind. So Katie Miller, if you're new here, is the woman married to Stephen Little Bitch Miller, the pale white nationalist from Santa Monica who looks like he was guest stated in a basement. And she's married to him on purpose. On purpose. And she's building a podcast on the backs of our kidnapped neighbors and children. So every sub, every hype, every like, every comment is an FU to Katie and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. So Turning Point USA hosted an all-American halftime show as a conservative alternative to the original Super Bowl halftime performance. Bad Bunny performed at Levi Stadium for 130 million actual human viewers. Turning Point USA streamed on YouTube with Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. They wanted patriotic, and what they got was a bunch of rednecks. They wanted spectacle, and they wanted to prove conservatives could put on a show. Then they went ahead and claimed 6.1 million concurrent viewers, and the live chat was completely dead. For an audience of supposedly 6 million people, compare that to like any actual live stream with millions of viewers. Compare that to me going on live on TikTok with my 120,000 followers. You'll see hundreds of comments flying through every second. Memes, reactions, chaos, energy, probably some problematic things. Turning Point USA, crickets. More accurately, bots.
I would guess that the most authentically watched event for Turning Point USA's YouTube page happened right after Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Remember, Erica first addressed the nation, and she did this in Charlie's studio. If you go online right now, her address as a widow to the nation has 4.1 million views on Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel. It also has 36,000 comments. Okay, so 4 million views, 36,000 comments. If you know YouTube, that's right. They didn't fake that. That's real. I want you to compare that to the Turning Point halftime show. That now has over 20 million views. And yet, only 46,000 comments. It's impossible.
One observer on X noted the obvious. Seriously, almost nothing is happening while supposedly millions are tuned in. Another said it felt like watching a stadium of ghosts. And within hours, speculation spread across Reddit, X, and the phrase 4.5 million bots started trending. People who actually watched Bad Bunny's performance noticed immediately 5 million real viewers don't just sit in complete silence. Streamer XQC pulled up the Turning Point USA feed during his own broadcast. The chat didn't move for almost a minute.
Yo, is the chat frozen? I don't get it.
6 million people and nobody had anything to say, not a peep, not one person typing, let's go, or like a flag emoji or something racist. Dead air. Supporters of the show tried to claim that the comments section crashed from too much traffic. But people who watched Bad Bunny were not buying it. YouTube doesn't crash comment sections for 5 million viewers, please. It handles way more than that every single day. And here's how viewbotting works. You load a video, you count as a view, even if you click away after 2 seconds. You can artificially inflate those numbers with bots that aren't even human. So 6 million viewers could mean a fraction of real people who actually stuck around. And judging by that chat, the fraction was teeny tiny. So streaming experts confirmed what everyone already suspected. Those viewer counts aren't always people who actually watch. Load a video for a few seconds, counted, automatic, bot traffic, they're also probably counting. The number looks impressive for like what it was until you realize that almost none of them are real. And of course, Candace Owens had something to say, former Turning Point USA communications director, who she left the organization years ago and has been really rising to prominence once again with her commentary on Erica Kirk, she openly questioned these numbers. She was calling out the conservative grift. And it's like every time she opens up her mouth to rag on these people, it's like when your own family members think you're embarrassing. Like, she's part of their tribe. She came up through that scene. She knows how these organizations work. She helped build this one. And even she looked at those numbers and was like, nope, I don't buy it. They're so desperate. Bad Bunny obviously pulled 130 million viewers on broadcast television. Turning Point USA couldn't compete with that. So they tried to manufacture these fake inflated YouTube numbers. They promoted it as a patriotic counter program. They leaned hard into this like Kid Rock headliner thing.
I wrote a book called Shut Up and Sing about 20 years ago. It was pretty prescient. I just love music. This is one place I don't really need politics, okay? I love great music. So Bobby, there are a lot of questions about what happened during your first song on stage. People were talking about it. It seemed to be a little bit out of whack. What was going on there?
It was very difficult for the Turning Point production crew, who, by the way, I can't say enough good things about, but this was very difficult for them. I'm jumping around the stage like a rabid monkey, rapping my song, and I'm taking breaths, and my DJ's filling in the other parts of it. And it was I even told him when I saw the rough cut, I was like, you guys got to work on that sync. It's off. So it was just a syncing issue that they had, and I know they tried to get it right. It was very difficult.
Somebody was singing about a fish in a quiet room. I thought this was parody. I thought, like, hopefully this is AI generated. But no, this was classic conservative entertainment. It was very much real. That's actually what happened during their halftime show. A person sang about fish to an audience of bots in what looked like a dark mega church auditorium. Bad Bunny performed on one of the biggest stages in the world with over 130 million people watching. Iconic performance, brought me to tears multiple times. And Turning Point USA performed in front of a camera with a silent chat and claimed millions of people watched. And Bad Bunny's was a cultural performance. It was integrating history and the history of Puerto Rico and South and Central America and the Americas as a whole. And there's just so many Easter eggs. It was just so beautifully done. So the engagement there tells the real story. A live stream could look very fancy on paper, but if nobody talks about it or shares anything, like, what does that really mean? Raw numbers without any sort of interaction are just giving fake, and they don't match the reality when your chat is literally frozen and nobody can verify your viewership independently. So again, no independent verification at this time has been released. Turning Point USA hasn't responded publicly to the bot claims. NFL declined to comment on the Turning Point USA's broadcast reported figures. YouTube hasn't confirmed the concurrent viewer count either. It's just Turning Point USA shouting about whatever they want to. And this raises a bigger question about digital transparency and conservatives, media's constant need to like manufacture these fake victories. If you have to fake your audience, maybe your message isn't as popular as you think. You know, Benny Johnson's out here running his mouth like a soaking wet piece of white bread, saying like this was so great and whatever. And it's like, Benny, read the room. You're on your own on this one. Just like take the L. Just take the L. So if you have to use bots to compete with Bad Bunny, if you're trying to compete with Bad Bunny, you've already lost. I'm sorry. And the fish song is really what gets me. I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to be my new Charlie Kirk. Erica Kirk, in all of her desperation and her bid for more and more attention and relevance, she even had the sensibility to skip a Viewbotted halftime show where grown men are singing about fish to an audience of bots in an empty dark room. If you're not subscribed yet, now is the time. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, share this with somebody who needs to know that conservative media is literally faking their audience numbers to compete with Bad Bunny. Every like, every share, every hype is a reminder that we see through this grift and that we will maintain and grow our lead on Katie Miller, who is the wife of Stephen Little Bitch Miller. Their chat was dead. We know the viewers are fake and we're not letting them pretend otherwise.